interesting too. Like a lot of black guys know you too because of the interracial scenes and the black scenes that you've done. Was that on camera the first time you've been with a black man, or had you been doing that?
No, my first ever crush was a black guy. We were born on the same day. We were like 5 years old, and he was Gavin was his name. He was my first. My mom's black. So
your mom's black?
My mom's black, and so
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, my dad's white, and I just have like very pale. My two sisters look very mixed, so I've always really loved black guys. I never waited to do like interracial or like other girls in the industry. They'll wait, and I don't know if it's like this, but they'll wait even years. I never did. I did it from the.
So that's so interesting because they act like your scenes are like interracial scenes.
They just advertise it as that. Right. Yeah. Marketing. Well, yeah. I mean, when it came out that my mom was black, they were like, "What? They're so racist. They're so racist."
Yo, porn is so racist.
It's insane. It's really, yeah. And they were taking photos of my sister and things, and they were like, see, full sister. But I do really, that's my favorite type would be a black guy.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we're gonna find that. I'm sure you're gonna find
mixed
that one
fine.
for five. And mixed is fine too, just like you.
Back to your roots.
What about Asian?
Oh yeah, I would say black guy, Hispanic, mixed. I never dated an Asian guy, but I like difference in race. Like I'm okay, like you know what I mean.
You like cultural dating.
Yeah. I do.
That's true.
I do. I like when
I don't
they
think
like.
I've ever
bring me
heard
a
of you being
culture.
with a white guy.
No, never. I would even. Be
That's
with,
so
like,
funny because a lot of like your biggest scenes have been interracial, and so it's not. But you're like,
It's been.
Yeah, that was Angela Yee, which I will put a link to that interview and pin it down in the comment section. But that was Angela Yee interviewing Sapphire Howell, aka Elsa Jean, from the adult film world. And yeah, these days she's semi-retired from that, but she does still do her own thing on her OnlyFans. Short little factoid and maybe somewhat advertisement. But anyway, get back to this. That revelation about her being biracial was astonishing. And I even thought it was a little bit BS at first. But then I got to thinking about it. I was like, wait a minute. Right now in WWE, we have at least 3 people who fit that category. The most prominent being this one right here, Sol Ruka, who just recently moved to the main roster. Sol Ruka, as you can see, looks like your blonde-haired white woman surfer type chick. I mean, who just happened to have some skills, but then you see this revealing picture. This is of her with her mother and dad. And the dad is clearly a black dude. And you would never think, looking at Soul, that she was ever biracial. And quite frankly, Elsa Jean has even stronger genes of being white or passing for white than Sol Ruka does. And let me also say that what she discussed briefly as far as interracial in the porn game, unfortunately, that's been a fight that's been going on since at least the 70s, if not further along. Yeah, it's gotten better over the years in some respects, but in other respects, it's still the same thing. The 4 women that I'm putting up right now have each had their experiences, which at least 3 of them have discussed. Of course, you just heard from Elsa Jean. Nina Hartley talked about how once a dude tried to lower her rate because she was getting ready to do scene with a black dude, and she pointed out that, hey, number one, no one's going to lower my rate. Second, my first scene ever in this business was with a black man. And third, you will be seeing a lawyer if you try to do that. And yeah, basically she had to put this young dude in his place. And Lisa Ann has talked about also having threats of having her rate lowered if she did a scene with a black dude. Hence why she created a lot of her own movies so she could do or have sex on film, perform sex on film with anyone she wanted, including black men. And she doesn't go for that higher rate to do with a black dude either, because she has said she has had black female friends who got their rate that they had in the contract, but she's known white women who have gotten higher for doing a black dude when the black women who didn't get no bump in pay for doing a white dude were actually bigger stars, who were actually bigger names in that business than the white women that got extra pay, which she thought was not right. And even though she's never spoken out on it, Brandy Love, that's pictured here, she, every time she has done an interracial, especially for black.com, she usually gets a litany of negative comments. In fact, I've even heard stories of her getting like 5.7 or 6.7 out of 10 when the film's only been up for maybe 2 minutes. And most of it is coming from the fan base that's supposedly claimed conservative, which Brandy Love is an outspoken conservative. But it's funny how they didn't have a problem with her doing what she does, even though if you're really conservative, should you even be watching this stuff? But it's funny how they didn't have a problem as long as it was white folks or even a black woman. But the second she started doing stuff with black men, all of a sudden it's a problem. So, yeah, racism really messes, besides religion, racism really screws people up. But getting back to Elsa Jean, yeah, that was a big shock to find out that she was actually a biracial chick. But yeah, like I said, with Sol Ruka, with Jada Parker, that's another one from WWE. And a third one from WWE, Kalani Jordan. And then one that used to be prominent in WWE, now with AEW, Mercedes Moné, formerly known as Sasha Banks. She is also biracial. Although all those chicks that I named look more black than white, where Sol Ruka looks more white than black, and Elsa makes Sol Ruka look black. Honestly, Elsa makes Sol Ruka look black. But wow, I mean, it's an interesting interview. And like I said, I'll put the link down in the comment section. I'll pin it there so you can easily find it and go to it yourself and listen to it. But anyway, I just thought that was an interesting revelation to come out with, because I ain't gonna lie. But like the old country song says, you can't judge an apple by looking at the tree. You can't judge the honey by looking at the bee. You can't judge the book by looking at the cover. I mean, it's just like the old country song says. Anyway, I'm out.